Deuteronomy, an overview. Dear friends, in today's story we will see an overview of Deuteronomy and the message it gives us. Deuteronomy is the last book in Moses' Pentateuch and the fifth book of the Bible. In this book, Moses is repeating the laws and instructions that God gave so far to the Israelites who were camped near their promised land. An important reason why Moses is repeating the commandments here is that Moses knew he would not cross the Jordan into the promised land. Also, this generation was either below 20 years or were not born when Moses received these commandments from God 38 years ago. So Moses, who was appointed by God and brought the Israelites so far, felt it was necessary to repeat these laws and instructions once again. Moses took around a month to repeat all the instructions. Moses reminded them of how the Lord delivered them from Egypt with his mighty hand and the miracles he performed there, and how the Lord carried them as a man carries his son all the way that they went until they came to this place. The reason why God chose Israel as a great nation whose God is the Lord is because he loves them. God, who created the world by the power of his word, created man by his own hands and in his image. But even when man turned away from God and became a sinner, God did not give up on him. How much would the heart of the Heavenly Father have been hurt when, as time passed, man forgot him and worshipped gods they created? When God looks down from heaven to see if there are any who understand, who seek after God, what does he see? The Asherah poles, altars, and sacred stones set up on the high mountains, on the hills, and under every spreading tree. Grieved by this, God, who is glorious and compassionate, revealed himself to our forefather Abraham. God told him to leave his country and his kinsmen, and from him birthed Israel. God revealed himself to them at Mount Sinai. The Israelites had at first only heard about God, but at Sinai they heard his voice, but they did not see any form. There he revealed himself and how the people he chose should live. Though they came out of Egypt, their actions revealed that their heart was still there. Throughout the journey, the Israelites rebelled against God and tested him. Still, God in his love and remembering the covenant he made to their fathers, walked with them and brought them so far. Don't our teachers take revisions before exams? Likewise, before entering the promised land, Moses repeated the laws to the Israelites through exhortations and a song. God gave these commands for the good of man. God cannot change his character. God hates sin, so God wanted the people he chose out of his love to turn away from sin and love him. That is why God repeatedly reminded us that we should obey and fear him, so that we may live and it may go well with us. How hard are these commandments? How can we obey that? If you feel so, there is an easy way to obey. If you rejoice in having a God like this as your own and love him sincerely, obedience is easy. The Israelites who received these commandments tried to follow them by the letter instead of from the heart, which is why they failed so many times. God plainly told them that more important than being set apart by circumcising the foreskin of their flesh as a covenant between him and Abraham was that they should circumcise their heart and not be stubborn. One of the biggest contributions that Israel has given to the world is monotheism. God delivering the Israelites from slavery and redeeming them and turning the 40 years in the wilderness into a class and teaching them many things, bringing them so far, and them about to enter the promised land, gives a message to the church which is given the position of God's own people. It is important that we live our life in exile here in reverent fear and holiness, because God delivered us from the slavery of sin and redeemed us with the blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. The old generation could not enter Canaan even though they had the promise because of their disbelief and disobedience. So we must pay more careful attention to what we have heard so that we do not become like them and do not drift away by the things of this world. May God strengthen us to do that. In the next story, we will learn about Moses who led the Israelites. God bless you.